Hello guys, this is Silvershade, and in this video I'm gonna be showing you how to edit your extra keys on termux. So if you don't know what they are, I mean, you probably know. So these keys I'm showing you right now are called extra keys, and you can of course edit them to whatever keys you want. So let's go ahead and do that. First of all, I'm gonna cd to home/.termux. That's where all the terminal configuration files are. So cd home/termux, .termux. And then over here, we're gonna create a new file. Or if you already have that file, you can just append to it what I'm going to show you. So touch termux.properties. Okay, so if you already have that file, don't do anything. Let's go ahead and open up that file. And in here we can set some properties for the terminal. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make something like a variable. This is gonna be like Python syntax. So there's gonna be a list which contains all the keys. So let's do it. The variable name is extra keys, extra dash keys, and then an equal sign. And then I'm gonna put square brackets, which is gonna represent our extra keys. And inside of those, there are rows of keys. So many more pairs of square brackets, and these are going to be rows. So let me just show you how these work. So I'm going to put Alt here, and then down here I'm going to put Control. Let's save this, and I'm going to open a new session. Okay, so we get an error, and that error actually wants us to put backward slashes on each line so that the whole thing is interpreted as a single line. Let's save this now and check. Yeah. So we have two buttons here. There's a glitch actually. So you just have to close this and open it again. And now we have two rows. Let's go back there and try making another row. And in this row, I'm gonna give maybe escape. Let's save it and open a new session. Okay, did I forget? Yeah, so I forgot the backward slash. Save again, new session. So we have 3 rows. Just close the app and open it again so that the rows are rendered properly. And now we have 3 rows. Let me just close all these. So you can go on adding more keys. Down, put it up there, and over here, down, and save, open a new session. You can see that now we have 2 columns and 2 rows. And I'm just going to remove this to avoid confusions. Okay, remove the comma, new session. So you can see we have 4 of these now. Okay, so I guess you know how to make rows now. So I'm just gonna keep it at 1 row and delete the bottom row. So we have 1 row now. Don't forget the backslash so that it is interpreted as a single line. Now, instead of this, you could do a more complex looking representation of a key, but this is going to give you more control over how the key functions. So put curly braces around your key, and then here you're gonna have like a dictionary, and the key is gonna be alt. So key colon alt, and I'm gonna save that, open a new instance. You can see that we have alt and up. So instead of just alt, you could write square brackets and a key value pair with key colon value, and our key is key and value is alt. Now instead of a single key, you could have a macro, and a macro is a key combination. So I could do something like Control S. Okay, I'm gonna save that and open a new session. Let me just restart the terminal. Okay. So we have this macro, right? And if I press it, it does Control S and saves our file. Let me show that to you again. I'm pressing Control E for the command palette and then clearing that. And if I press it again, it saves it. So that's a macro, basically a key combination. You could even use Alt instead of Control and stuff. And another property you could give is display. So display colon and then the thing it should show. So this is actually what it does. And in display you can set what's shown on the button. So the button text, you can see here it shows Control S. right? And instead of that, I could do something like save. And if I save it, open new session, you can see the button text has been renamed to save. And it works as it used to. So this is the function, and this is the button text. So now I'm gonna make it back to a key instead of a macro. So key colon control. And there is another cool property which is called pop-up colon, and this could be another key or a macro. So if I want a key, I can just tell it alt. Okay, the pop-up is gonna be alt. So pop-up is just another key. So you could give another entire value like this for a pop-up. I'm gonna show you how to do that in a while. So let's just save this and go open a new session. And what pop-up does is when I press on control and pull up, it's gonna give us another functionality. So this is alt. This actually didn't work for some reason. Let's try up. So if I press this, we get the last command, and if I press control and pull up, we get the same thing. So I think it doesn't work for, control and alt, but it works for, single press buttons like up, down, and maybe delete, backspace, and stuff. Let me go ahead and close these. Pressing Control D, by the way. Okay. So now instead of just up, I can put another pair of curly braces, and inside of this, I can give key colon up, comma, display colon. I told you what display is. It's just the name for that button. And display, I'm gonna set it to last command. And if I save this, so if I press Control and slide up, you can see that now it says last command, which was our display value. And if I release this, it has the functionality of the up button. So I can press up and it does the same thing. Or just press Control and slide up. So that's how pop-ups work. And I'm guessing I've covered almost all these things now. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is you can visit this documentation webpage. wiki.termux.com /wiki/touch keyboard. I'm gonna drop it in the description, and you can basically scroll down and see what are all the supported keys. And also one thing I forgot to mention is that if your key isn't in these supported keys, for example, if instead of CTRL, I maybe wrote Control and saved this. So if this key isn't in special keys, what it's gonna do is just insert the string value of the button. So if I press Control, it just inserts the string value of that. Or for example, Shift isn't a supported key, and if I press Shift, it's gonna insert the string value. Okay, so I've covered almost all of these things. You can also check out the documentation, and it's time for me to create my extra keys layout. So let's go. In the first row, I'm gonna have escape, comma delete, comma control, alt, and then up and down. So let's see how this goes. Control S, new session, and we have all these, the delete functions, and my first row is done. In the second row, I'm gonna have tab, home, and left, right. I think we can fit in one more to make it symmetric. So I'm gonna put quote, save, and then I'm just gonna restart because I've changed the number of rows and I don't want it to glitch. And here we have all of the keys we just added. Now, since I have a lot of space on my screen, I'm just gonna go with one row. So instead of left and right being on the second row, I'm just gonna put it on the first row beside alt. And I don't need quote. Home and end are just gonna be my pop-ups for left and right. So I'm just gonna wrap these with curly braces, key colon left, comma, pop-up, colon home. I'm gonna do the same for the right key. Key colon right, comma, pop-up, colon end. And now I can remove my home and end. And I'm just just gonna put my tab to the first row as well. So this is how my extra keys looks. I have an escape key, tab key, delete key, control key, alt key, and then a left key with a pop-up set as home, and a right key with a pop-up set as end, an up key and a down key. And I'm gonna remove the comma since we have just one row. I'm gonna save it, restart termux because there's a change in number of rows, and open it again. Bam, we have the new keyboard. So all of these things work. You know, tab autocompletes, and the pop-up keys work as well. So for example, if I pop up on the right key, goes to the end, and the left key goes to the starting of the line. Now, one last thing I wanted to show you is extra keys style. So this is basically where you specify which keys to show as an icon and which keys to show as, you know, text. So you can see that the valid options are default, arrows only, arrows all, and none. Now, I don't recommend using icons for all the buttons because it's pretty confusing. I'm just gonna show you this once. So extra key style equals default. It's the default, so nothing's gonna change. Now, if I change this to all, save this, and open a new session, you can see that all of the keys have changed to icons. I just wanted to show you that. And you can use arrows only, arrows dash only, and all of these starting keys except arrows are of text. So arrows only are icons. There is none, which means don't use icons for any. So now all our arrow keys are gonna turn into text. Let me show you new session, and you can see that all arrows have just lost their icons and turned into text. And arrows dash all, I don't know what this does, let's see. Okay, this is similar to default. So I'm just gonna remove this and keep it in default. Save this. And this is my final keyboard. So that is how you can change your extra keys on termux. Hope this video helped you. See you, bye-bye.